Hey guys, welcome back for another one of our videos about our GT6, 1966 GT6. And now that we have the door finished, there are a few little things that we still need to do so we can call this side of the body complete. And that's this repair here that we stripped yesterday, and now we can repair it. I also still need to take the door out and weld the flange inside that we bent, but I didn't weld it there, and do a little bit of grinding. And what else? And inside, yeah, here, if you remember, when we repaired the floor, we took out this box section, this cross member. So now we have to make an extension for it and finish it, and that's gonna complete the body. That's gonna complete this side of the body. Then we're gonna go on the other side. We need to do a little bit of adjusting on the door. We're gonna have to add to the edge of the door a little bit, just weld and grind it to make a nice and smooth gap. And then we can move to the bonnet and start replacing fenders, and there's a lot of stuff happening at the front inner section of the bonnet. It's a mess there. We've never done that, so it's gonna be fun to learn something new about the bonnets. But as usual, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Let's get crack-a-lacking on these little repairs here. So I think, oh, and I'm forgetting something here. Also, this cut here, we need to weld, and maybe that's what I'm gonna start with. Okay, so let's get crack-a-lacking. Okay, so this is welded and ground down, a little bit of body filler, and no one's gonna know that it's ever been cut. So now I think this is our next victim. Let me see how I'm gonna be able to strip that. It's gonna take a while, I guess. Okay, so this is the situation here. See, this is the reason why it rusts, because moisture gets trapped here. So what I'm gonna do here, I think I'm gonna cut this off a little bit, or maybe I'm gonna bend it up. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I should make a cut here and bend this up. So, or down, maybe up or down, I don't know, but just so there's a hole inside the channel. At the bottom of the channel there should be a hole to allow any water that I don't know where it comes from, but obviously it comes from somewhere, so we should give it a way to escape down into the B-posts, into the seal, and down these holes ideally, which we know that never is gonna happen, but in theory that's how it should work. Okay, I cut here the rusted part, the top of this panel, and I don't even think that I'm gonna replace it because it's not needed. It's gonna be overlapped. So this side of the channel is gonna come all the way down, and it's gonna overlap it a little bit as before, and we're gonna just weld it underneath, and we're gonna grind it nicely. And here I want to, like I said, I want to cut part of this. So what they've done here is this flange, the extension of this flange, they just bent it in. I can see it here. This is double metal for whatever reason. And there's another layer of metal that I want to get rid of inside, but we will see if we can reach there. I don't know how to cut this though. see there's this layer, which is, I don't know where it comes from, but it's a double layer. It's not this metal. I have no idea where it comes from, but it continues along this edge. I don't know. And there's nothing I can do about it, but it is pretty solid actually. It's surface rusted, but it's solid. Like, it took me a while to cut it. So anyways, that's how we're gonna leave the interior here. So now let's build the channel outside, and we're gonna have a hole here for whatever's inside to go lower and cause damage somewhere else, not here. So I know in the last video I said that I might do 2 separate pieces for the channel and join them in the middle, but you know, I can try and make it one. It's gonna be hard to make the bend on the brake, but I can try. So we need a piece of metal that's 2 inches. So 2 inches is this side plus this side, and then the depth is 1 1/4. So that's 2 plus 2 1/2, 4 1/2, so 5 inches by 5. Let me cut a piece 5 by 5, and we will try to bend it. Alright, so I primed it now, and this is made. I spent so much time trying to make this parallel just to come here and find out that actually the profile is like this, a little bit tapered. So that's fine. I opened it again, and now we're gonna start trimming this to fit it there. In the first place, you see this is on an angle. That's how I cut it, and I think it's easier if I cut this one the same way. So that's where we start. Maybe you should come on this side, because I'm gonna start trimming here. So this flange needs to meet with this flange, and they meet on 45. So that's the level more or less where they meet. And then 45 from here, it's gonna come like this. And we don't need any of that. So we can get rid of all that. And then here, this side, at this level, we're gonna need to make a bend. And so we need to leave a flange to bend. So we need to cut it here. Same thing here. We need to make a bend out somewhere here. We're gonna determine that a little bit later, exactly when we are able to slide it in. And then we're gonna figure out the other side. So first of all, let me cut it here. What's wrong with me? Why isn't that? That's not parallel. That's not perpendicular. Actually, because this is on an angle, it needs to be even more like this. All right. Okay. Wow, we need a lot more angle here. Okay, that's more or less our height here. So now we can mark where the bend is gonna be. A little bit higher than this line actually. Like this. Okay, so we can make a cut here and bend this up and this up. So here we can take our parallel jaw pliers, and try to do this. As far as we can go. Okay, it's getting there. I don't like this here, but I assume it's there for structural reasons. So now I'm playing with the top end here too much, so it needs to be a little bit shorter, I guess. So this side is too short here. I thought I measured, but it's too short, you see. I need to move this by an 1/8 this bend, which is fine, but on this side it's even worse because here it widens. Because here the top end is almost where it's supposed to be, but the bottom, when I make this straight, you see how much it opens here? So I need to move this bend as well. I didn't think of that. So I think if I clamp it a little bit higher, like this, I should be able to rebend it. That might be too much, but I'm gonna go check. Actually, it's good. So let's do the same here. A little bit higher on this end and a bit higher on this end. All right, that's better now. We have less gap here. And let's trim this size as well. And then we're gonna paint it and we're gonna tack it and we're gonna make some more trims here and bends, but when it is in place, because now it's hard. So if it is like this, I think this we're gonna cut in such way to represent a continuation of this flange. And then we're gonna maybe make this notch a little bit bigger here, up here, and we're gonna start bending it from here down, because now there's a big gap here. I look at the other side and the bend starts higher and this thing starts curving down. I'll show you what I mean. So I just need to make sure that this, if we cut it here, it's gonna cover this opening here. Yeah, I think we need to do it longer, unfortunately. Yeah, it's not gonna look like, I wanted it to look like continuation of this flange. That's fine, we're gonna make it longer, so it's gonna come somewhere here and like this, right? I'm gonna cut it, I'm gonna paint it in the back, and then we're gonna start tacking it in place. All right, here goes nothing. So first of all, we're gonna line it up here, of course. that needs to be perfectly aligned, and we're gonna make just one tack. In this direction it is straight, and in this direction it is straight. Double checking the other side. Okay, so now I can tack it right here in the corner so it doesn't move. Still straight this way and this way. Okay, so now I have to line up these at the back. Actually, I can tack this side because it's lined up. So actually this is sticking out more than I expected here, but let me show you the other side. So you see how the bend starts much higher, like above the door, not at the end of the fender. So I'm gonna do the same thing. So I want actually this to go in a little bit more. So we're gonna clamp it and then hammer it in. That's called cheating. And now I'm gonna make a little bit of a cut here. And now we can bend this down. Okay. Tuck this up here now. Okay, I want to keep this in this position, so I'm gonna bring the spot welder and make 2 spot welds here. Well, that's it. Now we can weld it all over, grind it, trim the ends here, and the spot welds on the other side I need to do, and we are done. Alright, so it's all welded, and now it's gonna be a challenge to grind it, because especially here in this corner I have no access with anything other than what is it called? This little guy. So, like I said, it's gonna be a challenge, but we're gonna figure it out. And oh, I forgot these 2 spot welds. So I need to make 2 spot welds here, trim this, but I think it looks like original. Well, actually, better than the original. All right. It took me half an hour to grind this, but I think we did a good job. So starting from here, of course it's gonna need body filler as usual, but I think it's better than what it was before, right? Here too, it's gonna need some body filler. and inside there, that was the hardest part, like I said, but with that little tool it worked well. And here, like, I can't reach much more there, but this is hidden, you know. This part is only probably 1/4 inches exposed, I don't remember. Looks well with the door closed as well. So that's it. Well, I was gonna do a little bit more in this video, but this thing took more than I expected. So we're gonna end this video here, and I'll see you in the next one. So once again, guys, thanks for watching, for commenting, for subscribing, for sharing, for supporting, and all the good things that you do for me. I really appreciate them. Without all your support, not only financial, but also social, if you will, without it, I wouldn't be where I am today. So thanks for all that. I appreciate it. So keep sharing, guys. Keep spreading the word about the channel all over the world so I can grow the channel. It's really, really important to me that this channel grows because I rely on it, because I'm trying to make it my full-time job. So you can help me make that work, not only by supporting me on Patreon, but also by sharing and by telling your friends about this channel. I would appreciate all of that. So if you're not a Patreon, yeah, there's every once in a while there's cars coming, but it's not like my previous place. Here, every probably 20 minutes there's one car passing by, so it's great. Anyways, if you're not a Patreon and you want to become one, there's details in the description of the video how to get to my Patreon page and choose one of the 3 options there. But you can also send me a one-time donation via PayPal to my email, elin.yakov@rustybeauties.com, and you can also send e-transfers to that email if you're in Canada. But you don't need to do any of that in order to have full access to all my videos and all my content. It is everything is available to everybody, whether they support me financially or not. There's no VIP content, there's no early access, there's no such things. If you choose to support me financially, it would be only because you feel like it and you'd like to say thank you for your videos and stuff like that. I'd like also to remind you about the Facebook group called Rusty Beauties. You can go and find it and become a member. It's an open group, so everybody can join. I trust that all the people in our community are polite and not aggressive, so there's no approval. You can just join the group and be part of the Rusty Beauties community, see what other people do, share your project and all your YouTube channel, if you will, or whatever you want to share that's related to any Rusty Beauties, not just triumphs. Like if you have an old rusty car or one that was rusty and you made it look beautiful again, you can share it on the group. So if you're not a member yet and you wish to become one, you can go to Facebook, go to groups, search for Rusty Beauties, and it's going to show up. You can just click on join and become a member. We already have, I think, about 1,100 members. So thanks for that, guys, as well. And that's all the information I have for you today. So once again, thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of this Rusty Beauties community. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.